Hello and welcome back to SMT5. Today we fight the Demi-Fiend. But before we do that, you may notice that our party on the right hand side is a little bit different. Now, this isn't because I've discovered that the cat with the hat is actually the best fighter against the Demi-Fiend. It is because we have one last support conversation to do. I have tested that this one works. It's basically the other way around in the way that I thought it. I thought it was Nekomata to a Kate Sith. It's actually Kate Sith to a Nekomata, which means that if I walk over to this area that just happens to be filled with Nekomata, we should be able to get our final support conversation. So, let's do it. Get out of here, person on a horse. We don't need to speak to you, we need to speak to the cat lady. Kate Sith stepped forward and began talking to a demon. Ho there, maiden fair. I don't suppose you'd care to have tea with me?
Yeah?
Huh? You and I are both felines of the world. Let us discuss grand worldly affairs. Trivial amusements or nothing at all.
Yeah?
What? Of course, being a gentleman myself, I would be happy to prepare a drink fit for such a lady. My prized blend of catnip tea. You're not making any sense. Who are you? Ah, my sincerest apologies. I really ought to have introduced myself first. I am Kate Sith, a dauntless feline hero and wanderer of the netherworld. Okay, thanks for clearing that up, I guess. So, what do you want? Well, I was rather hoping you might join me for tea. No. Oh, what? Why? I mean, you seem super shady, you talk weird, and you definitely dress weird. Shady? Why, nothing could be farther from the truth, milady. You may not think it to look at me, but I preside over my own kingdom. Wait, really? No way. So, like, where is this kingdom of yours? Inside the gnarled hollows of trees and abandoned houses. Wow, gross and lame. Well, I never. They say home is where you make it, no? Not if it's just a delusion. My home's gotta be real and it's gotta be comfy. Before I became a demon, I used to be a house cat in this merchant's fancy mansion in the classy part of town. I'm not gonna settle for anything but the best food, the best clothes, and the best home. The food and shelter I can understand, but what manner of house cat needs clothing? Says the cat wearing a stupid Ren Fair costume. Yeah, no way in hell I'm going out with you. See you never. Kate Sith was shot down. Well, I think it's time to leave this timeline. It's probably best for his, self-confidence. Right, let's switch back to this one, which I believe is the correct timeline. I could be wrong, but I believe it is. And we're gonna have a shot at the Demi-Fiend. Now, before we do, we have one thing that's still remaining on our list from last time, which is the main character should be repelling or immune to physical, right? That's the main thing that we have. And the reason for this is that it would really help with the Demi-Fiend's attacks, because the Demi-Fiend would no longer be able to attack us and basically get free damage on us. I mean, if we look at our current stats, this is the right one, right? This does appear to be the right one. Yeah. So if we look at our current stats, you'll see that physical is something that we're actually extremely weak to compared to everything else, right? So a physical immunity would be good. Now, the question that we should have, I'm actually going to go back in here, is do we change our affinities to have a physical resistance, or do we get like a repel physical skill, which would then give us resistances to all +2 nulls and a repel physical? That's an interesting question. Now, is there anything that we could give up for that? Maybe. There are a few things, like Divine Arrowfall is probably on the list that could go. The Elastic Calamity, it's cool and all, but it doesn't do what we need it to do in this situation. Neither does Ragnarok. Wrath Tempest as well. We've got a lot of things that are on the chopping block, so we could potentially go and do all of that. But right now, I'm just going to switch our affinity. I'm also going to change where we are. I'm going to ley line crossing over to question mark, and I'm going to make this our new save because I think it's most likely going to be the one that we need. Now, what I do have up on another screen here is a list of the weaknesses for the summoned creatures. We have seen all the summoned creatures. We just don't... Well, we obviously don't get the spyglass when we go in there each time because, well, yeah, that's just not the way it works, right? Because they're all level 99. So, I have their stuff up there just so that I remember it, because effectively it's saving time. What we could do is we could go into it each time, we could note down the weaknesses as we get to them, we could spyglass through everything, but essentially it's just busy work, right? We already know what they're weak to. In fact, what I could do is I could just go, okay, so what have we found? Alright, well, I'm going to check my analyze page, and then I'll just find the weaknesses there. It just saves a little bit of time. So, now we got that out of the way. Let's create our save for this episode and get ourselves going. So, I don't need this one. Yes, it's literally 1 minute before the previous one. I can't see a reason why I would ever need to return to it. Right. World of Shadows. Let's try changing our resistance to start with.
Welcome.
Apotheosis. Essence Fusion. Let's see what essences are available in terms of things. Like this one, it's just a resistance to physical, but a couple of drains are nice. If we could get a drain or a reflect as part of this, this would be great as well. That's just a worse trumpeter. Okay, we don't really want a weakness if we can avoid it. That's part of our problem as well. Like, weaknesses are something we really want to avoid, because then we're just opening ourselves up for problems. Although I don't know how exactly we're going to do that. I'm trying to see what our best physical block option is. It might be that we have no physical block. There you go. So Rangda, three weaknesses for physical block. Reflect. Okay, so I might be getting the feeling that potentially that's that's 3 weaknesses for a physical reflect. Okay, it's too good to be allowed to be given to us. Okay, so with that as an assumption that it's too good, let's have a look at what we got here. So, what's the worst ability we have? It's Wrath Tempest, right? There's no question that Wrath Tempest serves no purpose in our party anymore, because it's 8 weak physical attacks to random foes. When you're attacking a single foe, that is good. When you're attacking multiple foes, that means, let's say we're attacking 4 foes. You're getting an average of 2 weak physical attacks to every foe. Higher effect when critical. We're not critting that often. I think that this is going to do, well, it's going to do more damage to a lot of them, because a lot of them reflect or resist, so that'd be good. And it's always going to crit, so it's not like if it crits it's more, it's like this will always crit. So it's 4 weak ones that crit versus and always ignore resistances, or 8 which might crit or might be reflected or whatever. So let's assume that Wrath Tempest is the worst skill that we could possibly run into. Now, does anybody have a resist resist physical? Not resist, reflect. We won't reflect at this level. Gonna go slowly here, just so that, so I'm sure it must be in one of the higher ones. Now, another thing that might be good is High Fizz Pleroma. That's something to think about. If we're going to be spamming Yabasami Shot, that could be good. Now, we're not actually a physical attacker, so that might not be where we want to go with ourselves, but, you know, our strength is not terrible, so we could. Null Fizz is on Konsura. That's the best option we've seen so far. Don't really see anyone else so far. Probably going to be someone like Rangda if it's anybody, because it'll be similar to the resistances. So Rangda doesn't have it. resist Fizz. So that's resist Fizz on Futsunushi. So I think resist might be our second best option. So I think that we're going for... Yeah, I think that's going to be a null. Null's our best option. Okay. Null Fizz is our best one. So that was... Konsura. I am going to take your skills. Now, he does have some fire skills. So let's have a look at those first as well. So, severe fire attack to all foes. Seems pretty good to me, right? Yeah, that is like literally what we want in that spot. So it's good. Now, it doesn't ignore affinity resistance, but nothing will right now. Do we want a severe light attack? We do have a +3. I don't think we do. Do we want a severe almighty attack? That's like literally an upgrade to Divine Arrowfall. We could take it. I mean, I don't really want Divine Arrowfall. Now, the problem is it does cost 51 more MP. Now, I think we keep Divine Arrowfall at that amount of MP. Okay, so we don't want anything else that he's got, apart from Null Fizz. So we can effectively just spam this button here. Until we get there. Now we're going to take Null Fizz. Now, we could take High Fire Pleroma. We could say, actually, Divine Arrowfall is so bad. I'm just looking at the resistances here. There are quite a few that are weak to fire eventually. Only one repel fire. So that's okay. There's only one repel and we have safeguard. Fire's not terrible. Now, fire is only a +7 for us, but it's not terrible. Let's just go for Null Fizz right now. Although, greatly increasing attack. Yeah, you know what? I think we're getting rid of Divine Arrowfall for this. I just can't see a situation where we want to do an almighty attack, right? It doesn't make sense. Because if we're doing an almighty attack, we're not going to get anything else out of that turn. I guess the only situation we would use it is if we had... try to think. Yeah, the only situation where we would use that is if we had criticals up and we had no way to hit the enemy. But we should pretty consistently be able to hit the enemy. Yeah, there we go. So this is what we're running with now. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that definitely works for us. Interesting, it shows your Magatsuhi skills down here. Wait, do we inherit the Magatsuhi skills of the thing that we skill from? No, right? Or like the thing we take the skills from? I don't think we do. Do we? Now I'm like, have I missed a mechanic for the entire game? Okay, anyway. So this is our character. The other thing I'm going to do... Now remember, we're not saving right now. Well, so we're going to basically just... we have to remember everything that we did. But the other thing I want to do is to keep Danu around. I'm going to basically just put all of these vitality incenses in there. And just see whether we can keep her alive. Because, well, you know, it's a healer. It's kind of what you do with healers. Go. Let's go even further. Also increase max HP. And I just want to see what happens if we have a healer and a Null Fizz. Make one change at a time, basically. I am making 2 changes, but you know what I mean. Like, make a low number of changes, see what comes of it, and then go back to it again and go, okay, what have we learned? It would be nice if there was like a use 10 or use all or use X amount here. This would definitely make this a little bit better. Anyway, this is fine. My logic is, if we have our healers not die, and we have us doing damage and not dying to physical moves, that should help us. There we go. Now, I also believe for the mechanic of the boss fight is, if the boss gets to do 6 turns, as in like the boss gets to do 6 things, then you will die, right? I believe that's the mechanic. I could be wrong. I think that's roughly it. So, if the Demi-Fiend gets 6 maneuvers against us, we will lose. So having the ability to reflect and nullify is It's actually huge because we reduce the amount that he gets per like turn. Like, so I should be using turns and actions differently. I believe it's 6 actions for the boss, and then he'll instant kill you. If we reduce his actions per turn, we increase our amount of turns that we have that we can do damage in. That's the logic anyway. Will I face the Demi-Fiend? Yes. Now I am expecting to lose. So Konsu Ra, Null Fizz, High Fire Pleroma, plus we stuffed all of the health, stamina, and vitality into our healer. Maybe I could have done magic as well and other things, but I'm just seeing how we are with just this. It's the same thing that we had with Shiva. It's finding the limit of the boss. Now, I love getting an attack down on turn 1, because this means that, well, he's just going to do less to us. And the block is nice as well. Okay, Danu's been sealed. That's bad. So we've got Pixie. Pixie is weak to dark. We got Gurmakala, who is weak to force, electricity, and light, repels physical. And we have Kukulin, who is weak to electricity and force. Oh, sorry, he nullifies force. I'm going to use this, because this will crit. Safeguard means that we still get our turn. He does retaliate, but we block. Doesn't that work out well? Amrita Soda Danu. This opens Danu up for a proper heal onto everybody. Now that heal is not high enough. We could Waters of Youth. Waters of Youth heal. I think Waters of Youth heal is a very sensible move. I think that actually, if we're playing this correctly, Waters of Youth might end up being one of our most used things. But we'll see. Then with our heal, that opens up Shiva. Shiva can now do actions. Now, does Shiva have Safeguard? Shiva does not have Safeguard. Now, we could do Tandava as well. That's an option. Electricity right now hits 2 weaknesses and is only blocked by Thor. So yes, we're fine for electricity. Nice. I just wanted the extra turn. I'm going to use Kanabi Veil this turn. My plan is not to use it every turn, but, you know, we'll use it for just now. Now, let me have a look at... Oh, I actually can't, because obviously we don't know what his skills do. I was wondering what Retaliate is. I think Retaliate is when you're hit with a physical move. So this should be fine. We should be able to hit him with that. Now, the other option is that we do Pantaspain to lower attack and defense by 1 rank. We don't need to do that. I think we do this. Now, the question is, do we head for Gurmakala or do we head for Kukulane? There's no real rush on Kukulane right now because the rush previously was that he had Retaliate, which was very annoying, I think. So if we aim for Gurmakala, we can get rid of Reflect, which will be good. Yeah, this one works well. 2,600 is pretty good. We could do another heal. Anything else? We could Luster Candy. That raises our stats temporarily. We could also Slumber Vortex. I think Slumber Vortex is a sensible move. If we hit anyone with it, it's great. If not, then that's fine. Gurmakala is now asleep. Great. We've now just skipped a turn. That's a great miss. Not huge fan of that one. Asleep means he just skips his turn. Mazandine. We got a block. Okay, I'm happy with that turn. Unsurprisingly. Right. We are going to hit with one of these because it just makes sense, right? I don't really care that we're waking up the elephant. We could always put him back to sleep again. It doesn't really bother me. We're going to kill him first. There we go. Huge damage. Now, do we heal this turn? I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to heal in the same way. Now, she does have an ice attack. Ice is only good against Cerberus. I think what we want to do here is we want to chuck in a Life Stone or something similar to Zeus. We could use Ambrosia. Let's use Ambrosia. Get him up to full HP. That's her purpose in the party. Now, do we use Tandava? If we use Tandava... Yeah, I think we could do this. I'm going to use Tandava. We then have to not use Kanabi Veil, because if we use Kanabi Veil, we will not get our full set of actions. So that lets us hit everybody. Zeus can now use this onto the elephant, doing a ton more damage. Danu? Is there anything sensible that I can use immediately here? I don't want to use a dampener yet. I think Danu needs a downtime move. I think that if Danu had like energy drain, that would be great for the situation. We could use Slumber Vortex. We're about to wake the other guy up anyway. I'm going to use a Life Stone on lowest health, which is Shiva. Cool. Shiva is then going to get to hit with one of these, which is pretty good damage. Okay, cool. That's not great. Danu lives. Danu is dead. But she lives. Okay, so Danu still doesn't have enough. She could do with a physical resistance. Yeah, I think if Danu might need a physical resistance. I think Zeus might... I think everyone might need a physical resistance. Oh no. Well, there goes our stats. That's the least worrying part of this whole thing. Alright. Now, I could bring somebody in. Trumpeter makes sense, because the force hitting is pretty good. Yeah, that would make sense to a level. The only problem is that obviously only Cerberus is weak to ice, so like that's the problem there. Amanazako. Electricity. Nobody gets rid of electricity except Thor. Manazako, you're on the team, at least for just now. Right, accuracy evasion up. We can then chuck in one of these. Pretty good damage. I mean, it's not insane, but you know, pretty good. Take what we can get. Now, do I use Waters of Youth? Probably not. I think we're okay. Atriarch's Love. I think maybe we have to use Kanabi Veil. Maybe that's what we learned from the previous turn. That's interesting. Piercing Aura would increase our damage quite a lot. Doesn't really provide us with anything, though. Let's just do this for just now. I'm going to use Kanabi Veil. We could also Waters of Youth. We are a little bit lower in health than we should be, but I think Kanabi Veil makes sense. Not using our Magatsuhi isn't the worst thing in the world. We could also full heal here if we wanted to. Let's do it. I don't think Amanazako is our permanent solution, so I think we do a full heal. Bye, Amanazako. Well, I did say she wasn't our permanent solution, and now she's gone. Alright, I'm not a huge fan of poison, not that it matters too much. I'm not a huge fan of you buffing. Wait, what? We're dead? You got enough actions? Alright, but I live. Now what's your plan? I survived your instant kill move. Yeah, I think our plan is to die. We didn't do enough damage? Okay, well that's good to know. But he did also crit a lot, which gave him more turns. So, I think that the problem there was less that he did more damage, and more that, you know, he crit a lot. So we could get rid of the thing that lets him crit. That being his physical moves. If we can reduce his physical moves, then that could work. But if we reduce them to doing basically nothing, that would be good. Bye, dude. It was cool having you around for a turn. Yeah, lower my stats. See if I care. Yeah, raise your stats again. See if I care. I have 666 health left. He just did 927 HP to me. Alright, well. I didn't feel like her damage was that low. But I guess it was. You know? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Us having an electric move would not be the worst thing in the world. Shiva having safeguard and Danu having... like a I think having physical resistances would be nice as well. Okay. Let's have a look at World of Shadows. We got some knowledge. We're working with knowledge. So, Apotheosis, Essence Fusion. Let's start with Danu. What is Danu currently running with? What can we get rid of? Well, I'm looking at their team list, right? I think Drain Light might be just hot garbage. I don't think there's any reason to have Drain Light on the team. So get rid of Drain Light. Replace Megidolon with an energy drain. So like Null Fizz, energy drain. That sounds good to me, in theory. Now, do we have another Null Fizz? That's a great question. I would suspect the answer is absolutely not. But, you know, let's have a look. So, Konsu Ra obviously has... oh, wait, we had one on you as well. Well, there you go. So, I don't think we need Bufu Barian. I don't have a better option on this current character, but, you know, I don't think we need it. I think Enduring Soul is interesting. I don't know if we need it. The reason why I'm saying I don't know if we need Enduring Soul is because, well, I mean, what does it do for us? Well, it stops them from dying once. Okay, cool. What do you do on next turn? Die. Like, it's a one-turn solution. Let's go with this. I think that's good.
How is this?
I'm happy with that. Next thing we're going to do to Danu. We are going to find somebody with energy drain. Amana Zako has energy drain. Has nothing else that we need. I think Amana Zako is our option. Now, do we want electric over ice? Not really. It doesn't really matter. They're both bad. There you go. Energy drain. We could take Almighty Pleroma. That's the smart play. You take Almighty Pleroma over it. You say, hey, your job is never to do damage. Your job is purely to live and heal. Almighty Pleroma means that energy drain does more damage. Energy drain doing more damage means that we get more MP back. This is good. I think that this is a solid character for us.
How is
I'm going to fuse it. I also feel like we could benefit from putting HP into this character. I'm going to create a new save. So this is our base save. Oh no, now I need to find a save that we haven't already used. No, I think we used that one. This one? This is difficult to figure out. I think it's this one. I should really, like, have put these in some sort of order that could be possible to remember. Alright, which one did we have? This one I could maybe get rid of. It's a level 99 one. Let's get rid of that save. Alright, so save number 1 Let's just make it permanent. Save number 1 is our, like, it's our save that we're happy with the changes on. Like, there's no experimental changes on save number 1. Save number 7 and 6, I guess, are going to be like our episode save. They're going to be the ones that we save over constantly. Alright. So I'm happy with those Danu changes. I don't believe that there's going to be a world in which we go back on them. Now, I do also think that we probably want to put all of the health and stamina into Danu. I think this is just straight up a sensible move, right? Health, stam on the healer. And I'm going to put the vitality onto Danu as well, right? I don't think there is a world in which that is a bad choice. I think we'll be happy with it. There's no issue. We're going to get into more issues in a second, but this, I think, is fine. Now, could we go and grind more incenses? Yes. Does that sound like an awful lot of, like, RNG grind work? Also, yes. So, I want to try and avoid that. What I do want to do, however, is I want to upgrade Danu's almighty skill potential to 9. The reasons for this are twofold. First is it makes Danu's ability do more damage. The second is it reduces the cost. So it's now an 8 MP thing, which is buffed. Danu has insane magic, and she can constantly heal. Cool. I think we're happy with that change as well. I'm going to do recovery on top of that, just to knock those levels back. Okay. So, chronicle that one in the number 1 slot. So, our character. What are we feeling? I think the changes we made to us last time were fine. They were acceptable. There's no real issues with them. Could we have gone further? Maybe, but, like, honestly, they seem fine. Now, do I think that we need some electricity damage? Yes. But, apart from that, we're fine. Electricity seems like it'll be kind of useful throughout, because only Thor drains it. Try to see if there's anyone else that we could even... I guess the only other one that would have been really useful if we'd had it is Dark. Because nobody does anything to Dark. Dark and Light, actually, would have been useful. But, we haven't really made our character that way. So I want your skills. We're going to go with that one. Going to go with that one. That one. That one. That one. That one. Null Fizz and High Fire Pleroma. I guess if we got a more powerful ice move, that could be interesting. It just means we're not useful for, like, the first part of the fight, but then we become more useful later. Ice is only one... There's only one person who's weak to ice. Now, they are only weak to ice, but... yeah, I don't know. I think I'm happy with this.
How is this?
Let's use this for just now. So I think we could maybe bank that one. I'm going to bank that one as well. So up until this point, I'm happy with the changes that we've made, right? This is the point now where we're making changes we're not so happy with. So, or we're not confirmed to be happy with.
Welcome to...
So let's try and make... Let's focus on Zeus, because I think Zeus is doing great work for us. What does he need? He needs to be immune to physical. Okay. We make him immune to physical. What do we need to get rid of? Null Force, I think, is necessary, because we know that Pixie uses Force fairly regularly. I think we get rid of Impaler's Animus. Yeah, I think... well, the thing is, Impaler's Animus does in theory allow us to use Panta's Spain. Here's the question, right? Are we using Yabusame Shot, or are we using Panta's Spain? This is a straightforward question because we're using one or the other, right? If we're using Yabusame Shot, we use it, right? We just Like, we use that exclusively, and then we don't need Panta Spain or Impaler's Animus. If we're using these two, we don't need to use the Abasami shot, because it's just... like, we use them in the same situation. We use them when we're not using Keranos, right? So... the question is, are we using Panta Spain? It would be nice to have a way to debuff the enemy. And having it on an attack is really nice. I would love for him to have Safeguard as well. Just to throw that out there. Safeguard would be really good. I'm just adding things I want him to have. I want him to have the ability to be immune to physical. I want him the ability to have Safeguard. But I also like some of what is going on. Now what we could do is we can get rid of high physical aroma. Because that only increases physical attack damage, right? That shouldn't affect this ability. Okay, let's say we get rid of high physical aroma and replace it with null fizz. We then get rid of Yabasami shot and we replace it with Safeguard, right? That now means that we don't need Impaler's Animus to use Panta Spain. It would only increase the damage of it. Then why do we have Impaler's Animus? So actually what I would do is I would replace these two. Yeah, let's try that. So I'm looking for null physical and Safeguard. Why do I get the feeling we're going to need a lot of these? It's kind of like just the basics of what we need. Do you have null physical? the on his own one there. Null physical. I don't know if we're going to have another null physical. But you know, one can always hope. Null fire. The problem's really the crit that comes out of it. Resist physical is actually kind of worth thinking about, because resisting, I believe, gets rid of the crit. The crit is the really annoying part. The damage from it, not so much. Him getting another turn, very annoying. Retaliate's just like, nah, you can hit me, but I'm gonna hit you. I think Resist Fizz might have to be our option. I might be going down to see whether we have any DLC ones that might happen to have it. Yeah, so I'm thinking the answer is no. Yeah, unless we want to use Fizz Block, but I really don't. So... yeah, I think we're going for a... so you have Safeguard. Might as well get you first. And then Safeguard. I don't need the Mana Spring. I also have no space for Mana Spring. Right, so that means that we can use Panta Spain on everything that isn't Gurmakala, which is good. Next change is we're going to put on... Resist Fizz from this one. Yeah, so then we do this and Resist Fizz. So this is going to reduce his physical damage significantly, but it's going to open up the possibility of us being able to debuff them, which in of itself is kind of useful. Yeah, this is fine.
How is this?
Okay. That just leaves Shiva. Now, Shiva has Boon Boost EX and has Tandava. Now, I don't think that Tandava was actually that useful in the previous fight. That could mean it's time to switch from Shiva. If it's not, then what do we do? Why do you have Yabasami shot? I mean, you have it so you can get a crit, right? That much is straightforward. You have that so you can get a crit. But you don't have the ability to get it for 9 MP. I mean, your strength is higher than your other stat, than your magic. So you would be a strength-based character for us if you didn't have Tandava. Did we push his... We must have pushed his affinity up to 9 for physical. Huh. I think on him here, we want to get... I just don't see... I'm trying to figure out a world where Tandava works for us, right? He already resists physical. I think we just assume that our changes are fine currently to Zeus, and we try it again. Okay. There's going to be a lot of back and forth like this. I also didn't realize how much of an undertaking this was when I'm like, we're going to defeat the Demi-Fiend. Oh no. Right. So the changes we made, resist physical and safeguard. These are the 2 changes we made to Zeus. Danu is much tankier. And I'm very happy with this current version of Danu. I don't think that they will die to anything in particular. Or at least they shouldn't. And they should have a way of, like, self-recovery. We are roughly the same as we were. We need to do more damage than we did last time. Do we potentially need to choose a different target because the elephant wasn't taking as much damage as Cuchulainn? Maybe. Now, this is actually only a problem for the first cycle, the character's not taking damage, as long as we use AoE, right? As long as we can get some AoE in there, we should have a bunch that are always like, you know, like 50% HP, which will be great. The problem is on the first one, they're all full HP, so that causes the issue. Anyway, let's see what happens here. So we shouldn't get anything immediately on the first attack. We should have 2 blocks and 2 resists, which would be great. After he calls allies, obviously. Defense down isn't as good as last time. Does mean we're doing more damage to him, but that means literally nothing. Yeah, means we're taking more damage. Oh, the nice thing about Danu blocking physical is she also blocks the seal, so she can heal on turn 1 without us having to do any funny stuff. That's nice. Do we want to just do something immediately on turn 1? Like criticals or piercing aura? I think piercing aura's Zeus attack could be fun. But I think criticals is the correct option. Yes.
It's time!
So now everything will crit. We go, hey, no reason to use the Abasami shot. We can now use severe fire to everything. Fire is only repelled by Cerberus, so this should hurt every single enemy. Okay, I mean it didn't hurt them for very much, but you know. I'm trying, okay? Okay. That's the wrong one. We are gonna pick you as our target. Attack. 3,000. We're then gonna do a heal. Shiva gets to attack. Now, Shiva should attack from Tandava, because Tandava is gonna crit. Okay. Opens it up again. They're now lower there. We're gonna use Kanabi Veil, because we realized we kind of need it. Zeus can then also crit Cuchulainn for 4,500, which means that they're now in the lower end. Energy Drain is a great option for us here. Get a little bit of MP back. Well, there's actually quite a lot of MP back. And then Electricity to everybody. Good amount of damage. Cuchulainn is down to about 30% HP. It's fine. Resist, no crit. Resist, no crit. Toxic Cloud is annoying, but I mean, Danu can remove it with a heal. Or we can remove it a million other ways. We didn't take very much damage. I think we might have found a path forward. Now, obviously, that was a Magatsuhi turn, which are always going to be good for us, but hey, it's a good start. We're getting somewhere. Yeah, you get to do that, but Zeus is fine. Use Matriarch's Love. Gets rid of the poison. Shiva, electric damage. Cuchulainn is dead. Now on this turn, we can start focusing on the next target, which is going to be the elephant. The elephant is the next target. Demi-Fiend has taken 0 damage. Okay. Is that a problem? Yes. I'm going to start draining the Demi-Fiend so I can at least hurt him. I think I've done 5% damage. Okay. That's fine. It doesn't matter that you missed because it was the last turn anyway. You call allies. The nice thing about call allies, it does also skip the turn that we would have used attacking us. Danu can remove that. Annoying though that Danu's far down the roster. Maybe we should move Danu to slot 2. Fry Cudgel. We do have extra resistances up. He lives. Okay. Now, Cerberus, weak to ice, repels physical. Now, we have no real way of hitting ice. Ice is a problem for us. We could potentially swap in Trumpeter. Swapping in Trumpeter actually sounds genius. What I think we should do is we should go down to Danu, heal, use Shiva's turn to swap in Trumpeter. Yeah, I think this is genius because then we'll get crits next turn. We know that you're resistant to fire. Let's just do crits to start with. Okay, at least it hurts the Demi-Fiend a little bit. You should focus on that guy. Hit him with a big hit. Danu, heal. That heals the 3 who are staying in. Shiva, you've done your job. We then swap you out for a Trumpeter. Trumpeter is very strong. Like, I don't think we had any doubt that Trumpeter was strong when Ice and Force were there. When Ice and Force aren't there, Trumpeter, like, obviously is a little bit less good. Getting an attack up as he comes in, fantastic. Tanabe Veil. Right. Zeus, your job is then to hit Gurmakala, because we want him to die. Danu, we can energy drain the Demi-Fiend. Again, just keep up damage, and then we'll use an ice attack. Now, ice should be neutral against everybody, apart from Cerberus, of which he's weak. Cool. That's fine. Resist. Great. Fire Breath. Fine. Toxic Cloud. It's annoying it hit us, but we can heal it away anyway, so why do we care? Again, not a lot of damage. Again, it's going to be resisted. Wonderful. I don't believe he has Magatsuhi skills, so we should be fine on that front. We do have Fry Cudgel. We could hit the boss with the Fry Cudgel. Now, the positive of this is that it means we're actually doing damage to the boss, and it's almighty, it's based on our level, which is 99, and he's got 2 defense down. Hear me out though, if we're going to do that, we should do that after Danu heals us so we don't take a double poison proc. Sometimes that can be a little bit sensible, huh? Right. Zeus. You're going to hit Gurmakala and you're going to kill him. Yeah. Okay, we knew that was going to happen. Matriarch's Love. That solves the poison issue. Trumpeter can start hitting ice attacks. Also doing a lot of damage to Pixie, who appears to have less health than everybody else. Fry Cudgel. Boss. Maybe I should have done that on Trumpeter's turn for the attack up. That would have been a minor optimization there. Hey, I can see damage that we've done to the boss. This is a huge improvement over previous situations. Zeus, I'm going to use Pantaspain. Pantaspain doesn't do an awful lot for us here, except that it reapplies the defense downs on Pixie and Demi-Fiend, and it lowers the attack of all 3. I think that's pretty good. Cool. Now, do we want to heal again? No. Do we want Trumpeter to attack again? Now that's... potentially, yeah. Potentially Trumpeter attacking again would be good. I think Pixie is most likely to die next. I'm going to use Energy Drain on Pixie. I'm going to skip Trumpeter's turn. I'm going to assume that Zeus will live. Cool. Let's try this. Zeus is less useful now because the electricity, well, yeah, as you can see, is no longer a huge concern for us because they have Thor. We do want to maybe cycle him back in later. It might be worth cycling in a Dune if we can at some point. The reason why we would want to cycle in a Dune is so we can get Eternal, whatever the healing one is, and, you know, heal all of our back markers. But that's okay. Force is probably a good thing to spam now because Thor is weak to Force. Yeah, potentially. Right. We're going to change on Zeus's turn, I would think. So, let's attack. We're going to change on Zeus's turn. Who are we going to change to? We should change to Beelzebub. Yeah, I was just thinking about it for a second there. Now, Beelzebub doesn't have a resistance to physical. That's a problem. Deathflies, on the other hand, is very, very good and can hit Pixie. Bringing him in for a second or two could be quite nice for us. Do we have anybody we can bring in who might be... Yeah, do we have anyone who we can bring in who resists physical who might be good? Konsura? No. Well, Konsura could hit light. Light is only Girmakala. Vishnu. Vishnu appears to have reasonable resistances, has a dark attack. I think Vishnu is our choice. We're going to bring in Vishnu.
Your turn, go!
He gets a random stat. Please be defense. It was attack. That's also acceptable. We'll now use Matriarch's Love for a heal. Trumpeter with his attack up. I want to use this one, right? Unless I want to start hitting... No, I need to kill Cerberus or Pixie. So yeah, let's start, you know, actually hitting them. Use Kanabi Veil. They only swapped in Thor this turn. We don't need to be too worried about killing them. Although we do obviously want to kill them. That's a single target thing. Oops. I didn't even register that. That could be horrible for us. If I pass, we can do more damage. Am I worried about damage? Kinda, yeah. Let's pass this turn so that Trumpeter can get one more hit on his increased attack. I wouldn't have had to have passed if we had hit with Vishnu. We block. That's 2 turns down. That's huge. Lowered stats is annoying, but obviously Danu can remove as every other time. Nazeodyne, 3 resists, fine. They've raised their stats. Now, Pantaspain would be lovely. We don't have Pantaspain. Okay. Alright, crits. I'm going to need you to not miss Vishnu. Also, why is your base health so low? Probably because we haven't done anything to it. Trumpeter also has fairly low base health. Just has insane resistances to make up for that. Alright. Kanabi Veil. See what I mean about killing them each turn becomes a lot easier when you've already been doing AoE damage. Yeah, so... I'm gonna hit Thor with this one. I just feel like we're gonna need the damage on him eventually. Hit an ice attack on everything. Cool. Demi-Fiend calls allies with his first move. He calls in Jack Frost. Jack Frost is weak to fire. This is good. Our stats have been lowered. I don't like that. Resisting is fine. Fry Cudgel, I'm a little worried that could kill Vishnu. Being shot at Trumpeter. It could have almost killed Trumpeter. It didn't kill Trumpeter, but it was in the almost range. Now, we could Fry Cudgel the boss. He does have a defense down. That's a tempting offer. Doing damage to the boss is actually kind of cool. Criticals would be nice though.
Watch this.
So I'm going to go for criticals. This turn, we get to hit this one. Severe fire to all foes, because Jack Frost, weak to fire. Now, we do have a problem that Cerberus repels fire. Now, Safeguard will save us from the repel, won't save us from the return damage. Okay. That's a lot of damage. Good to know. Now, you're kind of done here. Your job here is done. Time to swap you out. Who are we swapping you for? I mean, if there's ever a time for a Moan, this is the time. Now, is he weak to ice? Yes. Is there a Jack Frost? Yes. But I think we're okay with that. Accuracy up is interesting. I don't know if it's good. I wouldn't go that far. We probably want to do another heal on the next turn as well. Do I want to switch to Mazan Barrier instead of Mabufu Barrier so we avoid the Drain Ice? Obviously, yeah. That makes sense. Cool. Luckily, we also have Safeguard. Kanabi Veil. I'm on. Now, we could debilitate them. Now, that's tempting offer because they do have stats ups, but only actually 2 of them have stat ups right now. Does Amon have Safeguard? I don't think he does. He does! Oh, in which case, yeah, go for it. Blast him. Wonderful. Matriarch's Love gives us another heal. Now we do need to get some MP on Danu. Mazambari. Good damage. Dog is very low. Wonderful. Resist. Happy with that. Block. 2 turns off. Oh, that one ignores affinities. All resists. Somehow didn't hit him on. Let's not complain. Let's do this until the dog's dead. Yeah, the dog is quite sore. Some of that. Danu, you do need to heal. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you do need to heal. I was gonna say you don't need to heal this turn, but I think you do. Trumpeter, Azambarian. Still doing good damage. Kanabi Veil. This is quite a lot of turns they've had, unfortunately, without a death. This is still fine. I need to get you MP. Oh, you know what I can do? I can use Energy Drain for just now onto Cerberus. And then Mazambari. I could have done the Force one if I'd wanted to. Not Force, the Ice one, but I felt like we'll be fine. There is a chance that we die this turn. Non-zero chance we die to his huge physical move. The block is nice though, because that means that he doesn't get another turn. Luster Candy, not great, but hey, what can you do? Right. One of those. Dog's almost gone. Amon. Last move, effectively. Amon needs to be switched out due to having no MP whatsoever. Do we need to heal? Yes. Yes, we do. Trumpeter. Azambarian. He's getting there with 2 of them. Kanabi Veil. We need to kill this turn. You got anything, Amon? I'm tempted. I'm not just tempted, I'm gonna do it. Pass. That does mean that you're gonna drain it. Now, what's your current health? Draining is fine. Do we think we're gonna kill the dog with our current damage? I think we are. Yeah, we didn't kill the dog. Oh my god, no, we're dead. We're 100% dead, right? Yeah, we're dead. Especially if you don't actually hit the one I need you to hit. Yeah, you're exclusively hitting one that can't block any actions. We're dead. He's going to use Fry Cudgel, or he's going to use... Oh, he can't. There we go, we're dead. So, were we killed by missing an attack on Vishnu earlier? Yes. Yes, we were. Anyone keeping track? We were 100% killed by that. Danu did also live, though. I actually missed that Danu lived, so we actually have a chance. What do I need to do to Cerberus? I need to do Ice. Okay. Who has Ice? Do you have Ice? No? You have Ice. Yeah. Do you have Safeguard? Yeah. You're not great, because you obviously don't resist physical, but like... Y'all do. Can I get an ice hit, please? Yeah. That did end our turn, but also killed the dog. It didn't end our turn because of safeguard. I knew that. Hit Jack Frost with that. Changing. It's probably going to be fire next turn, looking at who's left on the list. So if it's fire next turn, bring in somebody who can do fire attacks, like Konsura. Does he have safeguard? Of course he does. Thank you, past me, for putting safeguard on everybody I had ability to put safeguard on. There we go. Attack up. Although he didn't actually get an attack up despite his saying attack up. I love the misses I saw there. Jack before. I forgot you had a special move. Well, who's dying? In one shot, huh? In one shot. Just add that to a good to know list. Where's a dude? Here we go. This is our turn to heal.
Your turn. Go!
Right. Leo. Now, obviously you're in a bit of an odd spot right now because, like, you were brought in for a purpose and now that purpose no longer exists, but how about killing Thor? That's a good secondary purpose in life, huh? Danu? Energy drained the Jack Frost. Idun? Eternal Prayer.
Here we go.
That gets us a ton of people's HP back. We need fire. It's probably going to be one of the originals brought in next turn, so maybe electric would be good, so maybe we bring back Zeus.
Come!
Let's go with that. I would Kanabi Veil, because without Kanabi Veil we get one shots, which is bad. Cleo, we could swap you out for somebody with a physical resistance if we have any of those remaining. We could go back to Shiva. That would be funny. I'd just go back to the start, this like restart. I mean, obviously, if we had enough resources, legitimately, that's the correct thing to do. We could bring in Vishnu for the outside chance that it's Pixie, because Pixie is weak to dark. Sandalphon? You have electric. You don't have a safeguard, but nothing apart from Thor resists electric, and Thor just cycled out. Yeah, let's bring in Sandalphon.
Your turn. Go!
Cool. Let's go. Call allies. Kukulane. Okay, we can cope with that. Can you just... You healed him to... Parvati heals him to Fool. Parvati does what now? Parvati heals him to Fool. But, like, how... What? Why? How do they feel about fire? They're two are weak to fire. Okay. She even has like a reasonable health bar. I don't know what you're meant to do against that. I guess that's part of the challenge. Electric would be fine if it hits. Roll the dice. What? How? I'm not okay with that one. Alright. I messed that up. I probably should have healed, or yeah, speed pass Kanabi big tail. What the fuck? Oh, pardon my I was skipping through things. What is that? What? Alright, I do have a page open that tells me what he does. What is that? Okay. Well, I was just scrolling down to see what other stuff we had in here. And then I did see the Demi-Fiend will heal to full HP at half HP. That's nice, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, no. Let's have a look. We'll use... Alright, the Demi-Fiend will use Chaotic Will every 1/4 of increment of HP. It has a chance to instant kill all party members and reduces the foe's press turn icons by a half next turn. What? He wasn't at a 4th increment of HP, he was at full HP. Wait, every 4th increment? Yeah, like... Or every quarter increment of HP he will use... What? And it instant kills you? Unless you have Abyssal Mask and or Endure... And... Oh no, it says Abyssal Mask and Enduring Soul is what you should have. What? You made a very difficult fight and then put an instant kill mechanic in it? Yeah, that's not great. I'm trying to figure out how you're meant to handle this. Like, alright, I've scrolled down so I can find this one. Yeah, chance of instant kill to all foes. Foes' press turn icons will be half next turn, is literally what it says. Oh, he does also get a Magatsuhi skill which can cause criticals. Oh, wow. I'm so unprepared for this fight. You would think being level 99 with characters that aren't like that unoptimized would be like good. But apparently it's not even close. So what does it... Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more into this one. So what does it recommend you have? It recommends that you have demons with repel, and drain skills. So it recommends that you start with Nuwa transformed and Abdiel transformed. That's great. We definitely have those. They're not New Game Plus locked at all. I mean, we could... I could run through the entire game in New Game Plus to get to that point, but you might be able to see my reluctance in doing that. Demons such as Amon that have access to piercing skills ignore affinity. Yeah, that was pretty useful, although, you know, we obviously weren't doing enough damage with our skills. What else does it recommend that you do? So know the summon cycle. Yeah, okay, we got that part. That worked pretty well, apart from Parvati then just healing him. But, you know. Maybe he's got a fake health bar? That's my only hope. Is like, maybe his health bar isn't his real health bar and, you know, that's why he used that instant kill move on us. That doesn't seem likely. I'm looking at a picture that they have of somebody doing it. They've got Zeus... They got the well, not Demi-Fiend. They got Zeus. They got main character, protagonist. Proto-Fiend, that's the one I was looking for. They got Beelzebub and they got Tal. If I was to run through the game again, we would, in theory, get access to every balm that was in the game. And you would get access to Tal. Yeah, that does seem like something that you could do. You would have to do every Fiend fight again, but that should be easy because you'll be level 99. I'm just seeing what other stuff we got in here. Having all your demons at level 99 for this fight is a must. No kidding. But it doesn't end there. You also want to boost your party stats over 99 using incense that can be found by investigating marked areas with a navigator demon. Okay, so you've got to like actively seek out incenses to buff your stats to a higher level. That would definitely help. Bring MP recovery items. Yeah, okay. Farm the essences of Nuwa transformed and Abdiel transformed. What do you mean farm the essences of them? How would you farm the essences of these two things? This process requires you to have cleared the game at least once to unlock these demons for fusion. It may take some time as their essence drops are pretty rare. Oh, so you would start with like a low level one and you would just spam it. You would just spam like leveling one and then you ditch it and then you'd level another one, then you ditch it, then you'd level another one, then you ditch it, then you'd so on and so forth. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's definitely something you could do. What else have you got here? Obtain Mother Harlot's essence. Yeah, because it naturally repels physical. So it would allow us to inherit her affinities. So you could then have the Mother Harlot one, which means that you would then reflect Javelin Rain and Deadly Fury instead of just nullifying it, which would be better. We might have Mother Harlot's essence, actually. Okay, you need to have Enduring Soul and Abyssal Mask. That's annoying. Whittled Goat and Enduring Soul can be stacked. Yeah. Get the Avian Talisman. Why? It's a cursed poison which has a chance of inflicting a status ailment on all foes and debuffs all enemy stats by 1 stage for 3 turns. You can obtain an Avian Talisman by collecting 30 Mimans and talking to Gustav, so we have it. This is useful since even if the Demi-Fiend resists status ailments, the debuff is still pretty valuable to have available. Okay, it also has a chance to inflict Seal on a Demi-Fiend, which could prevent him from using his heal when he reaches half HP. Also, the other enemy demons might be affected as well, so it can help deal with them more efficiently. Okay, so what it's suggesting is CC. So it's CC using the Avian Talisman, have Endurance Soul and Abyssal Mask on everybody, use Mother Harlot's Essence, repel and drain physical, max out your demons, and bring MP recovery items. Wow. Okay. I'm going to load it up. I don't think we're going to take another attempt today. Yes. I'm looking at the resources we have available, right? I mean, obviously our last attempt was so much better than our other attempts, right? What do we have? So we have a ton of these essences that we could give, right? Obviously we're going to have to switch in party members because Zeus is really, really good. Like for the first part of the fight, we got that sorted. Zeus, solid. He will 100% kill Gir Makala, Cuchulainn, and that's pretty good, right? We would have actually survived for a little bit longer last time had I not lost our party members at some point. So that's fine. So Cuchulainn and Gir Makala could be sorted by him. Pixie was sorted by bringing in Vishnu at one point, but like Pixie was dying anyway to AoE. Cerberus was sorted by... I tried to move my mouse wheel over to the game. Cerberus was sorted by using Trumpeter. So that's fine. Obviously it doesn't work because this is on a Switch and it just happens to be on a computer monitor. What else have we got? So Thor Force was also defeated by Trumpeter. Parvati and Jack Frost were in theory meant to be the Demi-Fiends to Proto-Fiends to defeat, but Nahobino, that's the proper name, isn't it? That's the one we're looking for. Meant to be the Nahobinos to defeat, but that didn't really work out. We did temporarily use Amon. The problem with Amon is that his MP is so low and this costs so much, right? So what you would need to do is you need to get stamina incenses so that you could have more stamina, and then you'd need more MP recovery items so when your stamina runs out you do eventually have a way of doing it, and then you need more magic so you could actually do enough damage so you have a turn free in order to give yourself extra in order to give yourself extra MP. Okay. So that's what you would need to defeat this boss. So you need everybody to reflect physical as well, so that you instant end his turn, so he doesn't do damage to you. There's a lot in this. there is a lot to this. So the only way to get everybody to repel / drain physical is, in theory, to either find a demon that already has that, or to go and get the essences of Nuwa and Abtiel transformed, because they have it. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the episode here. I think I need to think about this a little bit more. May not be an episode tomorrow due to the amount of grinding that is required, but I'll keep you up to date. We'll figure it out. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.